plot progresses, the reader, or the viewer in this case, will meander down one track and then discover that no, that didn't really have anything to do with solving the mystery. So, just while we have a minute, what do you think so far might be a red herring? I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong, but, you know, what kinds of things do you think might be red herrings? The hat box might be a red herring. Okay?
The bookcase.
The what?
The bookcase.
The bookcase. We might have some, that might end up being a red herring too. What else?
Miss Haversham.
Miss Haversham might be a red herring. She might be one big red herring. That's right. Okay? The wheelchair. We already kind of determined, right, that that was a red herring because we kind of think that
Painting.
what's-his-face is not really going to be the guy because he's already dead and we don't know who he is, right? Okay. Anybody else have a red herring possibility? Mabel, okay, all right. So we've got lots of possibilities of things that might be red herrings, but there's also lots of really important clues that will help us to solve it later. Maybe not so important because after all this is comedy. Okay, everybody have a seat. Okay, so we are, don't forget, after the performance we have refreshments, and let us continue with The Butler Did It.
You say you do charity from the past?
Yeah, I actually met her down in Louisiana.
Louisiana. How romantic.
Well, it wasn't all that romantic. It was kind of muggy. I got mildew on my gumshoes.
I must say I'm terribly disappointed in Louis. All that business about Ludwig's flesh and the wheelchair. Lucky for him, the hero of his books isn't so dense.
Never read much of him. You know, he's too soft for me. I like my crime hard-boiled.
Murder is not an egg, Chandler.
Bad eggs stink, and so does murder. There's been a murder in this house, and it stinks.
Well, I had Rita throw an embroidered bedsheet over poor Mr. Carlyle. I thought it was the least I could do.
You're one gracious doll.
I can be gracious, and I can be resolute.
Oh, I feel like a human.
Woo!
How could I have had that? So much for that.
Look like a human being, baby. My kind of human being.
Chandler tells me you two met in Louisiana.
Yes, at Mardi Gras.
How romantic.
No, I didn't think it was romantic. It was moist. It was moist. The weather was muggy. I got mildew on my platforms.
Gotta admire any girl who can arrive at a weekend house party in a helicopter in the midst of a storm.
Don't call me a girl, Chandler. I am all woman.
Oh, you can say that again.
You heard me the first time.
I was annoyed when you didn't arrive on the boat, and then I was relieved. Well, I mean, now that we're all apparent targets for some deranged killer.
You mean Rick Carlisle?
He's not the killer, he's the victim.
Well, what's anyone doing about it?
We're doing what we can. We're not eating anything, and we're not drinking anything.
Mr. Fan made some preposterous deductions that did nothing but cloud the issue. The man is a buffoon.
Well, everyone seems to be taking this murder quite calmly.
I'm not taking it calmly. I've been down in the cellar.
Well, what of it?
There's a body down there.
Naturally, there's a body down there.
Or unnaturally.
Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle, but he's dead. He's really dead.
Yeah,
You
it won't-
understand?
Won't get any better.
But I thought it was just a joke, part of the charade. I was expecting him to come up and tell us it was all a joke.
Murder is never a joke.
You've been sampling some of the wares down in the wine cellar?
Well, it's murder, right?
Yeah, didn't you hear what Flimsy said? It was a poisoned dart.
trust you don't believe I would stoop so low as to have murder at everyone's manor.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Can't see a thing. Folks like black ink, murder. Murder, real murder. What's the
That's the
matter with
worst
him?
kind.
Oh, it's just gotten into him that the corpse in the wine cellar is really a corpse.
Would you mind explaining that? Murder. Real murder!
Yeah, that's the worst kind. Father.
It looks as if you're all gathering for a council of war.
Well, I've asked the others to join us. I do wish they'd get here.
Honorable hostess requests, honorable guest complies.
You shut up!
Yet I'll tell you something else, Louis. I don't think Oriental people talk the way you do.
Where is Laura? Why isn't she here?
She had a bit of a shock.
Shock?
Yeah, she had a big shock.
Well, someone murdered her husband.
Yeah, she took that standing up.
Yeah.
I don't mean her husband.
You, Miss Hay.
Hey, what have I got to do with Laura Carlyle? I've never met the woman. I've read some of her books and not my brand at all.
Yeah, you're more like me, baby. Ear to the city's asphalt.
Leave my ear out of this, Chandler.
There you are. Come join us.
I'll sit over here.
As you wish.
You got something on your mind, Miss Maple?
I told you, Chandler, I can be gracious and I can be resolute.
Well, let's hear the resolute.
Quite. Ladies and gentlemen, I must apologize for the strange turn of events at Ravenswood Manor.
Not your fault.
The point I wish to emphasize exactly. I don't want anyone to believe I would stoop so low as to engineer this misfortune.
And why would we even think such a thing?
Oh, do you mean maybe the fact that you're trying to publicize your new chain of bookstores?
What bookstores?
Oh, come on, it's no secret, is it? Isn't that why we're all here this weekend, to make sure that our books make it on to the racks and the shelves?
I am here as tranquil weekend guest,
Nonsense.
nothing more.
Nonsense.
You go right to the heart of the matter, Cherokee.
I see no reason to pussyfoot around.
So you all knew what I was planning.
What if we did know? No harm done, is there? But why not ask Rick that? The body in the cellar!
As Mr. Van would say, must get choo-choo back on track. My reputation as a hostess has been impeccable.
Until now.
Alas, we have no choice but to remain on the island until morning. Is that correct, or isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, we're stuck here until daylight.
Well, I will not have my party ruined by an unknown killer whose motive or motives has yet been unrevealed.
Huh?
I will not bow down to sinister forces. Nothing will change. The charade will continue.
Bravo! Bravo!
Oh, forgive me. I didn't mean to get so carried away.
Then why continue?
I want the killer found so he can be punished. Murder's one thing, but the ruination of my weekend party at Ravenswood Manor is quite another.
That's all well and good, Miss Mabel, but we're detectives, we're story writers, we're not the police.
The police would only bungle the case. Besides, Mr. Flimsy has already shown a remarkable talent in deduction.
Hey, I've been around on the prowl, looking for the killer.
You have a great deal of faith in us.
Pooh, I've explained my theory. I've invited you here because detective writers write sleuths like themselves in their books.
Only more so.
Exactly. You are all the best in your field. Prove it. Find the gatecrasher. Let his apprehension be a warning to other social bores.
I would not call a murderer a social bore.
Well, who else but a bore would do such a thing?
Hey, we can get a pretty good yarn out of this whole thing.
Yarn?
Yeah, well, I got a title in mind. Murder Walks the Fog.
Island of Evil.
Mystery in San Francisco Bay.
The corpse in the wine cellar.
Mad weekend. The sooner the beast is caught, the sooner we can hand the fellow over to the police with a minimum of publicity.
Publicity, like door, works both ways.
Then we're agreed. We will not bow down to the intruder. The charade will continue.
As you wish.
However,
Yes?
to assure you that I'm not frivolous in my desire to catch this monster, I will award an honorarium to the one who smokes him out.
How much?
$25,000. You all have until sunrise.
I think she means it.
She means it.
She won't stand for anyone disrupting her weekend house party.
Well, I have to say that if I find out who did it, I will not be averse to publicity.
No, your kind never is.
My kind?
Why are we all standing here? She's the killer. This is Mabel Dupree.
Mabel?
Yes, yes.
What are you talking about?
Don't be fooled.
She's not the Dupree name.
Mabel?
Don't be fooled by this
What are
wig.
you talking
She's
about?
just a wig.
That's why she's not the Dupree name.
Yes.
It's not a wig with a mistake.
I'll handle this.
It's not a wig.
That's it. Oh.
It's my whole hair, you idiot.
Wow.
Oh, thanks.
You
I
still
needed
pack
that.
a mean wallet.
What was that all about?
You have to forgive her. She's not herself.
She mistook you and arch rival, Mabel Dupree.
Yeah, you pack a mean wallet.
Thanks, Chandler. I can take care of myself.
I think we're making a great mistake.
In what way?
I think the clue is in the recording.
If there's a woman behind it. I feel it.
Yeah, let's go with that women's intuition again.
In other words, Laura, you mean chercher la femme.
Huh?
Find the woman.
What woman?
It was that famous detective, Monsieur Jacquard, in Dumas's The Mohicans of Paris, first used the phrase. Wearing his green spectacles, constantly dipping into his snuff box and forever saying, cherchez la femme. Surely you all know that Monsieur Jacquard was a literary ancestor of all the great Barretts, from Victor Hugo's
What's a
Javert
Barrett?
to Doyle's Holmes, and years before Hawkshaw.
I don't know any hacksaw. What are you talking about?
Your education in the history of detectives is sadly lacking.
Is there a recording accusing me of you of murder, though?
Well, I understand that the recording did accuse me of murder.
Yes.
That's what I was told behind the scenes there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember that. You had a character in one of your books called Gumbo. Joe Gumbo.
That's another story again, Chandler. Actually, I've never really committed murder. Not actually really committed murder. It was a character in my book. So, I got bored with him. You know, you said he was great, you liked him. His name was Jumbo. I got bored with him in print, so I just killed him in print. There was a public outcry, and the critics said I murdered Jumbo.
In much the same manner, Doyle created a sensation when he killed off Sherlock Holmes.
That's really interesting, but it's not getting us anywhere.
I'm not sure. Most interesting explanation. Suggests other possibilities.
See, chili. I thought someone might like a napkin. I'll put it in the bedrooms too.
I don't think we're going to be doing any sleeping.
It gets chilly here on Turkey Island.
First time I've seen her without the hat box.
Curious. You should have mentioned hat box. Recalls case of a headless horseman.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a jockey who was murdered by his girl. girlfriend out of the Kentucky Derby.
Why did they call him the Headless Horseman?
You mean,
You mean?
This girl looks amazingly like missing girlfriend. A female addicted to hats.
I'm not worried about the missing
Noticed her
girlfriend.
as she arrived at Ravenswood Manor.
I'm still not worried about the missing girlfriend. I'm worried about the missing,
Don't say it, my dear. It's too dreadful to
but
contemplate.
she could be the lunatic Keller.
Come on, listen, we've got more important things to do here. I think we should lay out a plan of action.
Well, what do you suggest?
Charity and me will take the wine cellar. Louis, you and Father White go over the upstairs with a fine tooth comb.
Do not possess such an article. Small joke.
Yeah, if it was a big joke, it wouldn't be any funnier.
But what about me?
I'll take Laura with me. We'll check around outside.
Well, is that really wise?
We better stick in pairs.
Well, I meant a storm outside.
Just keep thinking about that 25 G's.
Okay, let's go.
Come along, Louis.
No need. I follow.
Stay close.
I am sorry about the wig.
Oh, so's my scalp.
Hey, Charity baby, here we are together again.
Don't call me baby, Chandler.
Hey, how about a little kiss, just for old time's sake?
Chandler, get serious about your work here. This is Ravenswood Manor, not Mardi Gras.
Yeah, but a little hump, for old time's
Oh,
sake.
come on. Which way's the wine cellar?
It's down that way.
Okay.
Okay, come on now, give me a little kiss. Give me a little kiss. Old time's sake, you know, yo, think of those little kisses. Come on, baby. You know what come on, baby. Just one more for the old times. That was the way it was. That's the way it should be. You call that a kiss?
I ain't no
You-
girl. What'd you expect?
Where's Charity?
Down the hall, if you're going to the wine cellar, you won't get in.
Why?
I locked it.
Well, come on, you can unlock it. We go this way.
Well, it's keys right by the door.
Haversham. Haversham, anyone about? Hello? Oh dear. What was that? I think I'll read. It'll quiet my nerves. The case of the curious caretaker. I shall never forget the night I arrived at Skull Island. No one was there to greet me, with the exception of Miss Winter, the housekeeper, a woman of stern countenance and iron will, and I was terrified. Perhaps if the boatman hadn't been blind and mute, some of my fears might have been lessened. But alas, that was not to be. Why was the bell in the abandoned tower ringing? I wondered. Did it foretell some dreadful happening? It wasn't the warmest of welcomes for a governess of 16. What would I encounter here in this strange house of ancient rocks and dark emotion? Who's there? Who's there, I say? No, wait. Oh.
Hurry! Hurry!
I'm right behind you.
Well, another moment we'd just be so drenched.
Our killer is outside. He's a fool as well as a madman.
Oh. She looks like such an innocent child. Just fallen asleep.
Should we wake her?
No, let's just cover her up. her sleeve. She needs all the rest she can get.
Okay, Chandler. Let me get one thing perfectly straight with you, Chandler. I cannot allow lustful inclinations to interfere with my murder investigations. Okay, so, remember, Chandler? People murder for one of three reasons.
I'm listening.
Okay? Profit, revenge, and...
What's the third reason?
Oh, I forget. I'm sure it'll come to me later.
We've searched everywhere. Not a sign.
You suppose the others found something outside?
Not so. They remain upstairs.
They were supposed to remain outside.
The rain forced them inside.
What did you two discover?
Something very strange. There is an embroidered bed sheet over the dead person in the wine cellar. It's very odd.
Abs killer, in gesture of contrition, placed embroidered bed sheet over deceased.
Embroidered bed sheet. A bit extravagant, don't you think? A plain bed sheet would have done just as
Suggest we considerably find the embroidered bed sheet over cooling body of Rick Carlisle.
You know, you guys belong in a museum. The old doll had this little linen over the victim.
One less clue, said I.
Louis, I don't think you could find yourself in the dark.
Ain't raining so much as it was before.
Gotta watch that Haversham. Yes, she'll steal a kiss on you.
I don't feel,
When you're not looking.
I mean, I don't anymore. I'm reforming.
What are you talking about?
Whoa, what's the matter with her?
Who?
Miss Mabel?
Oh, Lord, I didn't see her sitting there.
Awful still.
Please, don't wake her. Don't wake her. She's just exhausted.
Well, is it any wonder?
Hey, where's Flimsy?
He's washing his hands.
Ah, that's the old out damn spot.
Huh?
Shakespeare, Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 1. Lady Macbeth attempts to wash away the guilt of blood on her hands.
Why would man wash hands when he has just entered the house from the store?
Well, maybe they was dirty. She don't look right to me. Mrs. Mabel, who are we talking about?
She's just napping, I say, napping.
Should we wake her?
Oh, old people need sleep. Let her be.
No, we've discovered exactly nothing.
No, look, another one falling off.
I suppose that's broken too.
Well, it is, just like the first one.
Most unusual.
Come on, has anybody got any ideas?
About what?
About anything?
Why don't we get up and rubber bridge?
Good idea. I'll be dummy.
That's for sure.
Outrageous! Didn't any one of you realize I was murdered? that's going on. You're all a bunch of incompetents. I arranged for Haversham to fire some blanks to test your reaction. And alas, you all failed miserably. Ladies and gentlemen, you disappoint me profoundly.
So, you were carrying on the charade, right?
That, Charity, is self-evident. But because everything else around here has seemed slightly absurd, I'm beginning to wonder if the gentleman in the wine cellar is truly deceased.
Oh, he's deceased, all right.
Take our word for it.
He's very,
Take our word
very
for it.
deceased.
I shall see for myself. Get the key, Haversham. Idiots!
I do think she's annoyed.
I hope this doesn't mean she'll give up the idea of the bookstore.
Well, we've got to think of something to calm her down.
You must be famished. There's some food that's been sealed in this container. I'll see to it.
I am hungry. I am very hungry.
I'll see to it at once.
One moment.
What is it, Mr. Tan?
The name is Fan. Louis Fan. This is a fan. Think of a fan. Think of what cools you on a hot day. Fan. Understand?
I am not a child. You have something to say to me?
Must be obvious to all that killer is one of us.
You could not be
How can you
serious.
say that?
Will it
Hands off his rocker.
explain?
Do explain.
Why would Sweetheart, a heartless jockey, take job at Ravenswood Manor?
Are you talking about the horseman murder? He wasn't heartless, he was headless.
Yes, I am. Believe this barrow is jockey's sweetheart.
That's ridiculous.
Suggest Rita Barrow was also the sweetheart of Rick Carlisle.
Oh.
And when he wished to end friendship, was struck down, as was unfortunate jockey.
You mean?
There's the murderer.
You mean?
Ah, fascinating and unscrupulous.
You mean?
Mabel Dupree.
Well, what's everyone staring at?
Here is photograph from newspaper of unhappy jockey and his mad sweetheart.
I don't want to
Rubbish.
say that's rubbish.
Rubbish.
See the picture? See the likeness?
Louis, the female in this picture is a black woman. Sparrow is not.
What a meatball. No wonder your
You
books are
are
going
not.
out of print.
The mad sweetheart?
Maybe I'm not, sweetheart, but I'm mad. I'm furious. You fool!
Unless Hatbox belongs to jockey's killer.
Why are we here talking about the Kentucky Derby and Headless Horseman when Miss Maple is clearly very, very upset with us? Forgive me, Rita. What did you call him?
I call Mr. Fan a fool.
Well, please forgive the fool and fetch Miss Maple back from the wine cellar.
You want to be locked up. You're a menace.
Yeah, I gotta hand it to you, Louis. You're one in a million.
2 wrong deductions in one night. Far too much.
When all the hens clap, don't they hear the rooster?
You know, I agree with Louis on one point.
What's that, gentlemen?
The killer is one of us.
Then why was Rick the only one to get it?
Get what?
The dark in that chair.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lord. Don't fear, though. I put a piece of metal plate behind the portrait. That's the way the deadly dark cloak has been sealed.
You know, I wish you'd stop talking like one of those characters in your book.
And if only the dawn would just get here.
Oh, give it time.
He's dead, quite dead. There can be no mistake.
I think I might be able to shed some light on this grisly affair.
Well, Pigeon,
Haversham!
what about her?
Rita, what I told you was in confidence.
What you told me, I don't think can be kept a secret any longer.
You mean about Haversham's police record?
How did you know?
I told Mrs. Carlyle.
Haversham isn't homicidal.
Well, what about that impresses with the hatchet? Oh.
Hatchet! Aha! We're back to the hatchbox.
Oh, nothing of the sort.
See, Haversham, Hatchet. I recall the case. Didn't she break into some safe deposit boxes by chopping through the bank's outside wall?
Oh, she made some such attempt.
But I didn't get away with it. I had done my time. And I would appreciate it if you would all talk about me when I'm in the room. It's only polite. Murder with politeness. So will go together.
Will this cursed storm never end?
I can see where this is going to take a strong, logical hand. You see if I can shed some light on this as well.
Please do.
You're all agreed that the murderer used the tape recording to lay out his plan, right?
Carlos denied the truth.
Proof of nothing except that he was marked for murder. For death. Remember what I was accused of?
Murder.
Right. Murder only in the figurative sense. What about it, Louis? What about that night in Shanghai?
No, nothing.
Remember the stakes. Survival.
I'm thinking of something sinister.
What?
There's one figurine left out.
If the killer is going to strike again, you have to do it before daylight.
I hope no one will say, no one leave this room.
Night in Shanghai does not refer to holiday in Orient. Rival writer was to use it for title of his new book. But I used it first. He never forgave me.
My murder wasn't real. Night in Shanghai was nothing more than the title of a book. What about you, Mrs. Carlyle?
Me?
Yes, what does tulip signify?
Well, Tulip was the cutest little puppy you ever saw. And Rick and I wanted to buy it, but the shop owner was adamant and he was going to sell it to this nasty army sergeant. So we couldn't bear it, so we,
Dog nappers.
yes, and we changed his name to Napoleon, so no one would know. We were always so afraid. What would the society page say?
And Chandler, what was your deep, dark secret?
The recording said you could not escape your past.
Do I
You
have
were
to?
guilty.
Chandler.
Do I have to?
Chandler.
Well, I was a literary critic.
That is very well.
There's no sense in keeping up in the playing field of each. I have the slightest idea.
So don't you see, the recording is a joke. It's just a joke. These crimes were not crimes, simply indiscretions, nothing more.
As I was playing a joke here and there, someone else was doing the same with the recording.
Yes, that is exactly the way I see it, Miss
Yeah, you know, I could buy that.
But who did it?
We don't know if the tape recording and the killer are one and the same. Finding out the killer's identity is what's important. Now, what we have to decide is who had the motive and who had the opportunity to knock off Carlyle.
Could it have been the man in the dark scarf?
Well, first, the killer had to know the house. And who is this man in the dark scarf?
Well, a moment ago, you know, before I was shot, he was in this room.
What?
Didn't I tell you?
No.
Oh, it must have slipped my mind.
Who is he screaming at?
Well, do you think it was someone playing another little joke, enjoying the charade?
No, let me go on with my deducing.
Well, please do, Chandler. I have faith in you.
Remember those key words: motive and opportunity. Think about that.
What's that?
At the telephone.
There's no telephone at Turkey Island.
It's coming from over here.
It's the desk. It's
There's
the desk.
no phone on the desk.
Oh, Chandler, for goodness sake.
Ravenswood Manor.
Who is calling?
What did they say?
I don't want to repeat what they said. It's rather crude.
An obscene phone call at this hour? What did they say?
Who had motive and who had opportunity? I'll handle this. In the detective business, you're either a firecracker or a fiddle. Chandler Marlowe speaking here, you pinhead. I have ways of tracing this call, and when I find out who you are, I'm going to rearrange your face. You're going to be breathing out of your knee. Oh, you think so? You think you're man enough? Just remember this name, Buster. Chandler Marlowe.
Mr. Marlowe, would you mind explaining this?
Well, we're keeping up with the charade, aren't we? Well, I have a relay buzzer in my pocket.
Do shut up, you silly girl.
You better tell them all now, Chandler.
Rita, what do you have to do with all this?
I'm Chandler's secretary.
You?
Yes, the business people advertised for a social secretary for 1 month. Chandler had me apply.
See, I already had an invitation, so I thought it was a great opportunity to get a few laughs.
Murder is no laughing matter.
Well, I kept needling Louis about the headless horseman, and I had him thinking it was Rita who did that whole jockey thing.
Interesting theory. But Louis Chang is not buying. Hatchbox undoubtedly contains blow dart gun that silenced Carlyle.
Hey, hey!
What's in there?
Ahead!
I called you a fool before, and that's what you are. It's all part of the game.
Head of cabbage is food for thought.
Okay, everything seems to be falling into place now.
But you forgot one thing, Miss Hayes. Father White.
What?
Father White.
About
You didn't confess to any indiscretion, and you know this house inside and out.
Then why would you say that?
Because I saw you coming from that secret passageway.
Secret passageway? Now we're getting somewhere.
Yes, Chandler's quite right. In detection, we must always look at the unexpected. With the naked eye, we cannot see the invisible snakes that exist in every glass of water.
What is he going on about?
Invisible crocodiles that swim in spoonfuls of soup. Yes. And the dolphins that roam and play in every droplet of milk.
You know, that's the kind of, well, that's the kind of stuff he puts in his book. Oh, great. Nobody can understand it.
I merely wish to point out that we employ a microscope of the mind when we do these deep investigations.
If you say so.
Well, I suppose there's no point in carrying on this deception any longer. The truth of the matter is, I'm not Father White.
Impossible.
Well, who are you?
A strolling minstrel, you might say. I'm an actor.
I never invite actors.
But you see, they're doing a radio series, a new radio series on Father White. So I persuaded the real invitee to allow me to take his place. You know, to test my impersonation, to get inside the mind of Father White, to act and react as he
Oh,
would.
that's quite enough dribble. Invisible crocodile indeed.
But the secret passageway.
It's not a secret passageway.
Oh.
The original owner of the manor had a eccentric flair for architecture. It leads up from the wine cellar.
Oh, is that where the other door is?
Didn't you know?
Ravenswood Manor is not my home. I merely rented it for a few weeks for this weekend party.
Hey, listen. Listen.
Helicopter.
Maybe this time it's the police. Guard.
I think it's on the north side of the island.
Maybe we can send them out there to get their attention.
Through the kitchen, through the kitchen.
Okay.
Out of the way.
Signaling the helicopter. Maybe I don't need that anymore, do I? Signaling the helicopter may be our last chance.
Well, we must get its attention.
Wait, look.
Oh my gosh. It's the man I was telling you about.
Rick Carlisle.
Impossible. You're dead.
I never saw anyone deader.
I too thought of a little joke that would be amusing. Instead of one Rick Carlisle, there'd be two.
Rick's twin brother. He's the one dead down in the wine cellar.
I was going to confuse everyone, be in two places at the same time. Only someone got to me first and finished me off.
You mean your brother?
Well, yes, that's right. Only the murderer didn't know he had made a mistake. So I decided to stay out of sight and learn what I could.
Well, what did you learn?
Nothing.
I'll take it from here.
You are the murderer.
How can anybody be so consistently wrong?
You'll take what from here?
The investigation. I saw Carlisle talking with his brother in town. Carlisle's twin was a con artist. If he was coming here, he had plans to rob. Flimsy owed me a favor or two, so he was no problem.
My brother was no good. That's true. He did agree rather quickly to this. I should have suspected.
The pickings would have been good. Some jewels, some wallets, who knows what else.
Well, if you're not Peter Flimsy, then who are you?
Pharaoh Lane.
Oh, crack investigator from the Frisco force.
That's San Francisco. Can't you get your foot out of that wastebasket?
Well, everything has been explained satisfactorily.
Not quite.
What? It was all a charming, delightful, now you see it, now you don't.
Well, what about that man in the wine cellar?
Let me answer that.
Who are you, miss?
Mabel!
Oh, no.
Last chance, Louis. You are Mabel Dupree. I mean business. Where I killed the wrong man. to take her place.
Oh dear, I won't give a very good report to her parole people.
I wouldn't shoot.
He made a fool out of me. Nobody does that to Mabel Dupree. I really killed her.
The helicopter is flying overhead to see if I need assistance. That's when you have an unexpected passenger. I'm taking you in.
It's Dawn's.
And the storm has passed. That means the boat from the mainland will be on its way.
Come along, Mabel. You've got a date with the jury.
I won't have any problem. Not if there's 12 men on that jury.
I can't spend another moment here.
Yes, let's get our luggage and get out of here.
Well, you know, I don't have any luggage because I came in by helicopter. I'm going to see if I can hitch a ride with Farrell Link because he's my kind of man.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,